Hello and welcome to eLagaan Whiteboard Fridays, where we look at various tax and compliance related issues in a user-friendly fashion. Today we will look at some of the important metrics that a startup should track in order to make sure that they are doing good or to know where you are heading to and to be successful. The first and the foremost is the cash position. So how much cash you have, and is it good enough? What is the cash position? What is your burn rate or runway? That is like how much you are burning, that is your revenues per month, how much it is, how much is your expenses, so that will give you the burn rate, and your cash position will tell you how much runway you have. So that is the first thing at the start you should plan. Okay, if you start something, then how long, considering say zero revenues or minimal revenues, how long you can sustain, and is it good enough period to sustain or not. So the cash position, the burn rate, the runway is an important metrics that you should be tracking. Then comes the revenues and the growth in the revenues. So the growth you can track week on week or month on month, quarter on quarter, but don't make it beyond say half year or yearlies. Percentages are not great thing for startups, so they need to be a little more vibrant, and preferably track it on a month basis or quarter on quarter. So how is your revenue behavior? Is it something incidental? If it is going up, great, but just going up is not a great sign. So what is the percentage of growth that you are achieving, and is it something that you had anticipated or that is what you had planned for? Also try to look at the numbers based on what you had actually planned or budgeted, and if your actual numbers are being close to what you had initially in mind or not. If not, then take steps to make sure you go back to your planned numbers until it is not better than that. So once you are better, then you can revise your planned numbers and see how the new metrics look like. Then comes the receivables and payables. So receivables is very important. Many times you may see that the revenues are booked, but it depends on what industry or what product line you are operating in, but your receivables could kill you. So the receivables directly impact your cash position. Too much receivables can actually, so you may look at revenue numbers and see, hey, the revenues are growing fast, but you will not actual cash, and since startups are cash trapped, receivables should be something under control. So because otherwise your runway would go down, and despite being making the sales, you won't have cash to sustain your business. Same thing with payables, it should not pile up too much, so you should keep that also under check. Otherwise you would continue to invest in others, and then later you will see that all your creditors and other guys are coming and knocking your door to make the payments immediately, and or otherwise take legal action and stuff against you. So the payables should also be under control, but try to figure out ways where you can defer your payables and see if you can get extra credit through your vendors and suppliers, even from employees, if you can defer some salaries, bonuses and all those stuff. So that's one. Then comes customer acquisition cost. So how much you are investing to get one single customer, is it really worth it? So that plus how much a customer pays on an average. So if you acquire a customer, how long he continues with you, how much revenues he is making it. So that would decide if the customer acquisition costs are justified or not. So there should be a use profit. So even if you spend say thousands of dollars or rupees, whatever it is, the customer cost can still be justified, because if your average customer revenues are like 10x, 20x of or 100x of the customer acquisition cost. Then the retention cost, so what it takes to retain a customer. So it could be like, it again depends a lot on what kind of business line you are in, and what are your retention cost, and whether the customer volumes or the revenues that comes, is it worth to do that retention or not. But take all steps, because a customer retained is always helpful until and unless there is a gross mismatch in what he is paying and what you are spending on retaining that customer. You should keep an eye and check on the sign out ratio or the rate. So figure out again on a week on week or monthly basis, are the customers signing out? And if yes, then what are the reasons for signing out? Is that a normal industry phenomenon, or is there something which is grossly wrong at your side, or on the product, or on the support issues? Whatever be the reason, the sign out ratio should be really low, and you should take all steps to make sure that the customer does not sign out. And this could actually the chances of converting an existing customer back to a customer, or a customer who is trying to sign out, is much higher than going and convincing a new guy altogether to start using your product. So this is an important ratio. Then comes virality and referrals. So how viral is your product? So generally you start with your initial set, then you also use some marketing, so you drive some initial traffic to your business. But then depending on the virality of your product and the user experience and other factors, that would decide how fast you are going. So if it is viral, great. So what kind of virality you are seeing? That would, if it is a viral product and if there is a good virality in the whole process, then you would also see a lot of reference business coming up. So that's another metric that you should track. How many people are referring new customers to you, and they would certainly refer only because if they love your product, or if they like what you are offering, if there is a great value add in the whole process. So this is another factor that you should be tracking. Some of the internal factors could be employees' motivation and retention. So employees should always be motivated. You should not. You should be a customer-focused company, a revenue-focused company. But employees are an important stakeholder, so you should keep an eye on their motivation. Make sure they are happy, they are properly paid, and there is a low churn out ratio or a high retention of employees. Because if employees are not there, then even if your business is doing good, so you will continue to invest a lot on training, getting new people, again they will come and go out. So you will not be able to focus on getting customer or making them a happy customer, or all these things would fail if the employees are not there with the company. So take all steps and see how the employees are motivated, keep a track on that, and the employee retention. So these are some of the important metrics that I feel every startup should track to make sure that you run for a long time, you become successful, you are growing at the right plant speed and all those things. That's it on eLagaan Whiteboard Fridays. Thanks for attending this. Please feel free to drop us an email at support@elagaan.com or check out our knowledge base at elagaan.com/kb. Thank you.